Hey guys, what is up? This is Shark and I'm back with more Minecraft, and I know it's been a while, but I've been playing a couple other games. I only have about four more videos using this particular setup planned, and then I switched to stuff I did using OBS, so the quality of these videos will improve dramatically, I hope. But yeah, just I guess that's all I have to say, and enjoy.
No, hey little thing. Yeah, today I had to go to the pet store to get the guinea pigs some food and to... Oh no, the polar bear is stuck. To get the guinea pigs some food, some bedding for their cages, and I ended up picking up a couple of water bottles. Well, let's just say one of them leaks worse than the one that... Yeah. Two of the water bottles we have for our guinea pig's cage, for the guinea pig cage, is broke. So I bought two more. One of them's fine, the other one leaks more than the one it replaced. And the one it replaced, you could literally pull the metal part right off. With ease, because one of our guinea pigs managed to do it. She wasn't happy about it, because she ended up with the entire water bottle, the entire water bottle just all over her. Like, everything that was in it was all over her, and she was less than thrilled about being soaking wet. Because even though guinea pigs are really good swimmers, they do not like water. I mean, I didn't spend much on the water bottle, I kind of cheaped out, but yeah. I probably should have gotten something more expensive than the one I got, because the one I bought is already busted. Well, I was trying to chase the cat. Well, I was trying to get the cat to go downstairs. She was playing with a crumpled up piece of paper, which the guinea pigs thought was a bag rustling, so they all started screaming, and yeah. Once that happens, they don't stop until you give them food. And I think the cat knows that, and I think the cat has worked with the guinea pigs to do that. Or the guinea pigs have gotten the cat to rub up against a bag. I don't know, I swear to God, they're in cahoots sometimes. So yeah, another couple fun things about 90s and early 2000s technology that I bought my first micro SD card in 2007. It was 56 megabytes. I paid $50 for it. Granted, it also doesn't help that I bought it at Verizon, so yeah. But that was the only place you could get them back then. You couldn't get them at like a Target or a Walmart. You could only get them at a place that sold cell phones, because that's all they were really used for. A few weeks ago, I bought a 200 gigabyte micro SD card for $25. The first one I bought was like easily a couple 10,000 times smaller, and it was more than 2 times the price. Also, like, the first flash drive I bought was like 14 megabytes, and it cost like $30. I have saved school papers on 3.5-inch floppy disks. For those of you who don't know what a floppy disk is, it's the save icon on Microsoft Word. Kind of looks like that. That's how I saved school papers for pretty much my entire high school career. Definitely middle school too. Actually found one the other day. Can't see what's on it because I don't have a computer that has a floppy disk drive anymore, because no one really uses them. But yeah, it was my sister, my sister's 10 years younger than me. She looked at the floppy disk and she's like, "What is that?" I was like, "That was the original flash drive." But yeah, that's how we saved school papers. You couldn't, yeah. If you needed to print out a paper at school, when I was in middle school and high school, more high school, but you couldn't just email the paper to yourself and open it at school. You had to save it to a floppy disk and pray that the word processing software you used at home was compatible with the ones at school. My family did not have Microsoft Word at first. I don't remember what we had, but it was not compatible with Microsoft Word. It wasn't OpenOffice because OpenOffice didn't exist yet. It wasn't Google Docs because that didn't exist yet. Spruce. But I mean, it was definitely a step up from having to do a paper on an electric typewriter, which does not have a backspace button. If you made a mistake, you would literally have to go and white out you'd have to use whiteout on the mistake, wait for the whiteout to dry, and then see if you could get the paper back to the exact point it was at when you made the mistake. It was a pain. It was a real hassle. Like my fifth grade classroom had, like, we had one actual computer. Yeah, we had one actual computer and 3 electric word processors that kind of looked like a very, very old-fashioned computer. But the screen was black and the text was green, and I could not type on that because it really, I couldn't use the word processors at school because the black screen did a number on my eyes. They're also set up to a dot matrix printer, which were, yeah, those are, you'd have, paper came in this big stack and it was all interconnected, and it would have like these, like, it was perforated on both sides. And after your paper printed on this big long piece of paper, you would then have to go and tear off the ends that held all the pieces of paper together without ripping your paper. One of the first times I did it, I accidentally ripped my paper straight in half. And because the word processors we had did not save your work, I had to go and type it all over again. My 6th grade class, the classroom I was in for 6th grade didn't even have a computer. At all. I think the library had 3 computers. The web browser we used was Netscape. Google wasn't even the main search engine. The one we used for pretty much everything at school was called Ask Jeeves. Which I think eventually became ask.com. It's totally different from Yahoo Answers, but basically you'd type in just a question and they'd answer it. Similar to what you can do with Google now, but you couldn't ask Google a question. You couldn't just type in a question with Google. You could only really type in a word. If you wanted to go to a website, instead of typing in just like, say you wanted to go to YouTube. This might have been before YouTube was even a thing. If you wanted to go to a website like YouTube, instead of just typing in YouTube and hitting enter, and it would bring you directly to YouTube, you would have to type in the full www.youtube.com. Yeah. it was a pain. I mean, I continued to use my American Online email account until just a few years ago. But AOL / Hotmail were pretty much the only, like, Gmail wasn't a thing yet. I actually can't even access my old AOL accounts. One of them was shut down due to inactivity. The other one is still active, but I can't access it because I can't remember the password for it. When I was a kid, Netflix would ship you DVDs. Netflix, I think, started when I was in high school, and they would ship you DVDs. It's kinda similar to Redbox, I guess. Not quite. Redbox wasn't a thing. Yeah, I've seen technology go from, like, televisions that were literal pieces of furniture. The first TV I had in my bedroom was a cabinet TV, which it was a big piece of furniture, like an actual piece of furniture. It weighed close to 400 pounds, possibly more than that. I finally convinced my parents. Yeah, I finally, when our neighbors moved, they gave us a Sony 27-inch television. It was not a flat screen. It weighed 200 pounds. Yeah, I'm stuck. Yeah, my last television weighed about, or my second to last television weighed about 200 pounds. It was not a flat screen. It was still like a tube television. Because when I got it, flat screen televisions were still, like, a small flat screen TV, like 27 inches, was still, like, easily $500. If not more. I think the base price for a flat screen TV back then were, it's about $600, and you'd have to unplug it during thunderstorms, because if you didn't, it could cause a surge and completely fry the system entirely. Like, a thunderstorm could completely fry the television, and there was no fixing there was no fixing it. You were kinda stuck with it. Mind you, they were, like, on the high end, thousands of dollars, the low end, like, $500-600. my current TV is fairly new because... Is that what I think it is? It is what I think it is. It's a jungle biome. Oh, this is lovely. I know what I'm gonna do with all that track now. Oh, this is lovely. Yeah, I got my current TV about a year ago because the one I had just straight up stopped working. I was playing Breath of the Wild at like 2 in the morning, and my television just kind of flickered and shut off, and then would not turn back on. I ended up getting a new one barely 12 hours later. Before I went into work that day, so I had to work at 2, so before I went into work that day, I bought a television, and they say everything happens for a reason, and at first I was really just ticked off and annoyed about having to spend about $250 on a new television, but while I was at work the day I bought my television, one of my coworkers at the time, I don't know who, never found out who, unfortunately. Yeah, one of my coworkers stole my wallet. And management was kind of like, yeah, we can't really do anything to help you, which was kind of annoying, because, like, it was a nice wallet. It was, kind of iridescent, so in some lights it looked green, and in other lights it looked purple. And I didn't spend a whole heck of a lot on the wallet. I think I got it at, it was name brand. It was a Coach wallet. I think the original price on it was like $90. I spent like $14, so it wasn't a huge loss, but I really, really liked that wallet. And, before I bought my television, I had $150 cash in my wallet, which I had used to purchase the television, which I'd used to pay for about half the television, just so I didn't have to take as much out of my bank account. But basically, that night, if my television didn't die, I wouldn't have spent that $150 in my wallet, and I would have lost it. Yeah, the girl, and I know it had to have been a girl. I don't know too many guys who know the value. I don't know too many guys who know the value of a Coach wallet. Yeah. I mean, I know a few guys, but it's not generally something a lot of guys know. And, the weird thing was, like, I had a couple of old train tickets, my student ID card, my Boston subway card, so like for the Boston subway system, the MBTA, and my debit card. The girl who took my wallet took all of those cards out of my wallet before she took the wallet. She threw them back in my bag. Which is kind of how I knew it was a girl, because I think if it had been a guy... Though the weird thing is, the only thing she did take from the wallet was a pay stub. One of my pay stubs, which had my home address on it. So, needless to say, the day after my wallet got stolen, I canceled that particular debit card. I went to the bank and I canceled my debit card, that particular one, because, yeah, no. And I got a call a couple of days later after canceling my debit card saying that my card somebody had attempted to use my card on some random website. It wasn't even Amazon. It wasn't eBay. Some random online like marketplace that's kind of shady. And unfortunately, the person who did it hadn't provided, like, her actual address. It was just like a P.O. box type thing. Didn't give a name. So I couldn't figure out who it was to press charges, because trust me, if I ever found out who did it, I would have pressed multiple charges. Like, I would have pressed charges for stealing my wallet and trying to use my debit card. But, when I went to the bank to cancel my card, the teller, or the woman who helped me, basically went through about a week's worth of purchases. Like, she'd just say the location, like where I think one of them was like, oh, a $7.77 charge at Starbucks, and I was like, oh yeah, I did that last Thursday at such and such a place. She was like, there's kind of a big purchase here from Target. I was like, yeah, she's like, there's a charge here from Target yesterday, $150, like about $100. I was like, yeah, I bought a television. So once we determined that there were no fraudulent charges on my card, at least not yet, we canceled it. And I'm gonna have to get a new debit card soon, because the one I have is chipped it's kind of cracked along the magnetic strip. Yeah, sure, it uses a chip, but, the college I attend, for whatever reason, will not join the rest of us in 2019. They don't have chip readers yet. You have to pay any kind of, if you have to pay for anything at, like, the bursar's office, yeah, like, if you have to pay, like, part of your tuition bill at the bursar's office, you have to pay in cash or check. If you do want to pay and you have to do it in person, they have an option for you to pay online with a check, but you have to pay like an additional 2.75% as a quote-unquote convenience fee. Same thing if you want to pay with like a debit card, you have to pay a 2.75% convenience fee, which I pay for part of my tuition out of pocket. I pay about $1,000 per year, about $500 per semester. So the 2.75%, yeah, that 2.75% would be, if I'm doing the math properly, I should figure it out, but $2.7% over 100 is X. If I'm doing this right, it would be an additional, like, I wasn't doing the math right, but like it's an additional like almost $50. And I mean, I still have a checkbook to, basically the only thing I ever use it for is to pay my tuition bill every semester. But actually, I'm pretty sure the college even used like Windows XP until like 2 years ago. Or maybe not Windows XP. I took a computer class for one of my gen eds, and all of the computers in the lab were still using Windows 7. And even the professor was like, I don't understand why we're still using this, like, super outdated. She's like, we have some kind of, like, deal with Microsoft. I don't understand why we're still using this, like, super outdated, operating system. It doesn't make any kind of sense. Also, like, the passwords we have to use to sign into our, like, student accounts and our, email accounts, like, to sign up for classes and whatnot, but our passwords have to be, like, 10 characters long. They have to consist of at least 3 letters, 3 numbers, special character, at least 1 uppercase letter, but no more than 3 uppercase letters. The password cannot consist of a word that can be found in any dictionary. Like, the letter combination can't be found in any dictionary, otherwise it will reject it. You can't have 2 of the same letter, or you can't have more than 2 of the same letter following each other. like, you wouldn't be able to make your password something like AAA, because it would say, oh, the same character, like, you have the same character in 3 consecutive, you can't have three of the same number, so you can't do something like 888 either. It's just, I mean, I understand why they did it, because our, the old email servers we had got hacked pretty badly. It was actually kind of funny. I'll tell that story in a little bit in my next recording, because I'm coming up on the limit that my computer records for, but it was quite the incident, and I think it did lead to a student getting expelled and a local business getting in a lot of trouble for the incident. So basically what happened with the when the email server got hacked, it was kind of during like a blizzard. So school was closed. This local business figured out how to hack the school's email server so that it would send an email to every single person who had an email account on that server. Students, faculty, staff, alumni, anyone who had an email account on that particular server ended up, anyone with an email account on that particular server ended up getting this email. And basically what ended up happening was, if anyone tried to reply to the email to either, because it said, oh, reply stop to stop getting these stop getting these emails, anyone who responded stop, any response to said email got carbon copied to everyone. So you have about maybe 2,000 or 3,000 students. Actually, I don't think even that many, but basically you have about 2,000 students all opting out of these emails, but they're getting sent to every single student. So everyone ended up with like 4,000 emails, I think was the final count at the very end. We ended up with everyone ended up with like 4,000 emails. A couple of students used that as an opportunity to send just funny pictures. One that got circulated was of someone's cat named Chubbs, who would become a school like celebrity. Chubbs the cat. Couple of guys sent pictures and videos of themselves diving headfirst into snowbanks wearing nothing but boxer shorts. That was kind of funny. But basically, to undo the damage done to the server, the school's email server was down for about 2 weeks, which meant that professors couldn't send emails to their classes, students couldn't send emails to their professor, like they had to miss class because they were sick or something. A lot of us ended up having to use personal email. We had basically professors had to give their personal emails, and students also had to give their personal emails, just so during that 2 weeks the internet servers were down, we could still have a fairly open line of communication. I remember discussing it in one of my classes, the next day there was class, and it was yeah. The general consensus was that it was both hysterical and completely obnoxious at the same time. I mean, I've never really checked my email, so I didn't really see most of it. What the heck? Why? Oh, that's cool. I love the that terracotta pattern. I think that's the orange glazed terracotta. But it was yeah. I did see the desert temple. I just wanted to finish telling my story before I tell the story of the first time I encountered one of those. Just gonna set that as my respawn point, just in case I mess that up. So, the reason why our student did end up getting in trouble for that. So it was a student who was the one to figure out how to do it. A local business did end up getting in quite a bit of trouble for that, since it was kind of an advertising campaign for that particular business. Yeah. Definitely not the worst computer-related or school computer-related issue, because when I was in 9th grade, a couple of seniors figured out the admin password for the school's computer system, spread it around the school like wildfire, and by the end of my 9th grade year, the school's computer system was so absolutely virus-laden that it took the school had to get all brand new servers, which didn't happen until halfway through my 10th grade year. What happened was, it messed up the school's computer system so badly in the school's servers that they had to get new servers, and it was the reason why there was no bell in between classes for the first most 3/4 of my 10th grade year, because the school's bells were, the bells were done through the computer system. So, needless to say, the school had to get new servers, and they started, it got to the point where, if you so much as changed, the desktop background on a school computer, you'd get, a week of detention. They were that paranoid after that incident. Okay, story about these. The first time I encountered one of these, I was playing on my Switch, and my sister was in the room with me. So she was like, "Oh, be careful, those things like to blow up, they're trapped." So I was kind of like, okay, how do I undo the trap? And she told me, destroy that blue brick and just fall. Yeah. I fell onto the pressure plate and got blown up. She laughed. I punched her. I'm still, super paranoid about these things, so... Oh my god, look at all the gold. The rotten flesh I can trade with the cleric and the, Actually, I don't think I have enough to trade with the cleric. No, I don't. I need 32. I'm still, paranoid about these things, even though I've destroyed the, But yeah, no. That was my sister being a little brat. And my game's lagging pretty bad. Really? That's it? That's disappointing, but... Me and my sister thought I was hysterical. I was less than impressed. Do I have any dirt? No. So yeah, the first time I encountered one of these, I was violently blown up because I trusted my sister, and it ended up being... Yeah, she was being... She thought she was hysterical. Oh crap. That wasn't terrible. No, I just wanted that blue terracotta. It's like, I know the jungle ones are trapped too, but those are slightly easier and they don't violently explode. You just get shot with like several arrows. How much bamboo do I have? This isn't terribly far from my my main base. I mean, it's far, but it's not like... And I could very well have a use for all that extra track. All that track I didn't use for my nether rail system, I can make more and use it for this to get here. Let's go to the very edge of the forest, or the jungle. I now have bamboo, so I can make scaffolding, which is super, super useful because you can use it as a ladder when building. It's made with bamboo and string. I mean, unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to build a ton more track because my original figures were only for about, see, it took me almost 7,000 paces, my other file, to find this particular biome. Took me even farther to find the mesa biome, the one with like the red sand. So I'm already way, way ahead of my other. Granted, I currently only have like one house. I have 2 houses in this particular one. I guess another thing I could always do is set up another portal around here and see where it takes. See how far away from my What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the coordinates for the edge of this particular biome, and then see how many paces it is away from my home base. I will eventually build a house around here. Part of the reason I started playing this on my computer, transferred it from my Switch, well, my original world, is because the Switch kinda limits the size of your world because the Switch's memory is so limited. Okay, this is a lot bigger than I thought, like, but that's great because I am going in the right direction for my house. I'm gonna need a lot more track, which means I'm gonna need a lot more iron, a lot more gold, quite a bit more redstone. It's a good thing I found like 20 gold in that desert temple. Oh, this is massive! My goodness! Ooh, what's that I see? Heck yeah! Look at this! It's a jungle temple. I know these are trapped. I could just destroy it. Okay. Okay. So let's try one. Nope. Closes it. Oh, beautiful. Three more diamonds. Here's another one, but here's another dispenser. It's not gonna do anything now because I took the arrows out of it. Well, that was good. I didn't die. I didn't fall for either of the traps. Granted, I know what they are now, so I know how to deactivate them. Okay, I think this is that is very much not the end of the jungle. How big is this biome? So it ends at like the 2000s. My gosh. I mean, this is great, because I, like, kind of a fan of the jungle wood. My sister hates it. I like it. Ah, that's neat. Alright, I did not find the end of the jungle yet. Okay, that's massive. Okay, I think I finally found the end of the massive jungle. We'll say right here. So that is 1319. Sorry, 1391. 1319. 1559. And honestly, I think that's where I'm gonna call it for tonight. Thank you very, very much for watching. Yeah, click like if you liked what I've been doing. Click subscribe if you want to. Let me know where I can improve. And this is Shark signing off.